Thank you, voiceover guy, which is me. This is another When I'm Not Podcasting. And what I'm going to be doing in upcoming episodes, starting with this one, because I never know when I'm actually going to, I have an idea when I'm going to release the episodes, but, a little bit of a housekeeping I want to give you is that when I do put out stories and I start looking for stories to go and talk about, which I record usually mostly on Friday nights, or if there's something very important I want to go and talk about sooner, I'll go ahead and release it next day or same day. If it's kind of like a breaking news kind of thing, I'll just have to drop it in because it's just something that I just can't hold back on. But some stories, they could take a little, maybe a couple of days before you get to hear them. Or if there's some stories that are just very timeless, I can just kind of put them out in a couple of weeks, and that's what I do. You can kind of tell those what goes on. Well, what I am going to do on upcoming episodes, including this one now, is you'll be able to go and hear me talk about multiple stories in an episode because of the fact that if were stories that are related to what I'm talking about initially, I don't want to just put out 2, 3, 4 minute videos or make them 5 minutes long because it's not long enough for me. I want them to be a little bit longer than that, at least like 7 to 10 minutes. So at least you got something that if you're going to go ahead and invest the time to go and listen to it, I want to give you something a little bit more to work off of. For all my listeners out there, I hope you appreciate whether you are listening to the program through podcast or you're listening on the YouTube channel, watching the slate and listening to the YouTube. I really appreciate you checking it out and letting you know that I want to put a little bit more time into the podcast so that I'm giving you some more information. If you're going to put time down for it, I don't want it to be just completely short and you feel like you're not getting, I want you to get more out of it. More bang for your more ding for your download. There you go. Bang for your buck. Bang for your buck is a very old reference. And just Google it if you need to find out what that is. Anyway, TikTok. It's undoubtedly the most trend-worthy app of everything right now when it comes to music. So I have made previous videos. Well, I did make one video in terms of talking about the radio end, complaining about why Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license did not make it on the air right away. And why, I bet you the newest American Top 40 Countdown, whenever that comes up, I'm recording this on a Friday, when it comes up the following week, well, it's the song, the song finally got it to number 29, but it's not going to be number one right away. It's going to take probably another 4 weeks before it to get there. Usually 10 to 12 weeks it takes for a song that really is taking off for American Top 40 to actually go and put that. And I always use it as a dipstick. That is a gauge to what corporate radio thinks of what songs people are listening to, which might have come from TikTok. Okay? So, as we talk about in the story from Vulture, they talk about the fact of how nothing is flattening music like TikTok. Driver's license is telling of the kind of music this app rewards. Because we're constantly seeing songs. They're not every song is going to be going ahead and just jumping up the chart thanks to TikTok, but there are songs that do that. CJ's Whoop-Dee also made top 10 this week on the latest Billboard Hot 100 chart and got up to number 5 in the UK. Or it might have got to number 2, I forget. But it did make top 10 over there for several weeks. So right now, as I record, the Billboard Hot 100 still has Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo, number 1 on their chart, 4 weeks going. It just made on the UK as week number 5. The chance of possibly Taylor Swift's re-release of Love Story could topple, but I don't know if it'll do that. Neither do we know if The Weeknd's Blinding Lights or Save Your Tears will bump up thanks to the Super Bowl to make that happen too. But, we can wait and see what happens. So anyway, before songs like from artists that came out of nowhere, debut singles, really hit something like this where a song could hit number 1 automatically, the last time it happened was American Idol. And there were American Idol winners like Fantasia Barrino, Clay Aiken, Carrie Underwood, and Taylor Hicks that after weeks of exposure to primetime audiences, it just went up. Now, American Idol, to that fact, also did rely on radio airplay. And again, we're talking about American Idol when it was starting off from what was it, 2002 to 2007? So it's been more than a decade since American Idol was really relevant. Okay? Let's just put it like that. So it takes a big media apparatus to propel new artists to the forefront of the American streaming charts. And what gave Olivia Rodrigo the juice? It was her work in Disney Plus's High School Musical, the series. And then the song, of course, we know about The Gossip, which Go look for that somewhere else. I don't go ahead and talk about the gossip between Joshua Bassett and Sabrina Carpenter. Listen, that's just a nice little soap opera, a nice little love triangle. You go ahead and follow that. I've been reading about it, because it comes up on my Google News feed. So it comes up and nobody's talking about it. They're just putting out songs. It could be all orchestrated. I could care less. It's just good music, okay? Enough. So then you had 2016, the rap duo Ray Smurd's Black Beatles. It reached number 1, aided by the noise created by the Mannequin Challenge, in which people froze in place while the song played. And this is pre-TikTok days. But that's kind of the idea where it came from. And the same thing going where something different is happening on TikTok, where old Fleetwood Mac hits, which we've already talked about here on this program, and on our Broadcasters podcast about how the song Dreams made it back into the top of the top 40 of the Hot 100 once again. Amazing. I still can't believe that song made it. And right now it's in the Global 200, and it's still a song that people are streaming today. And people are still going through the catalog of Fleetwood Mac. Amazing. I mean, $250 million in the first month after that video with the guy with the tattoos, skateboarding on the highway, getting on an off ramp, drinking Ocean Spray Cranberry. It's just amazing. So the randomness and openness of taste in our era of warring streaming services where you're always just a click away from hours and hours of notable digital media make what proliferates through the app something of a grab bag. TikTok makes it easier for people to surface their own videos by indexing hashtags and song selections and by prominently displaying usernames so that blah, 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 blah. You know how this works. So the song that definitely did the debut to number 1 automatic was Old Town Road by Lil Nas X in 2019. It's the first one that did it. In a matter of months, what started out as a joke about blue-collar fashion commanded the ears of kids around the country. By October 2019, the song reached diamond certification, which I think that's 1 million copies of the album being sold. Or on their downloads anyway, so either way. Worldwide success tells us a bit about the kind of song suited to blow up on TikTok. It has to be a buoyant beat, deeply descriptive or else instructional lyrics, and a swell of emotion are often all it takes. Choreography challenges reward breezy dance pop or brash hip-hop tracks. A single bracing lyric can put a comedy video over the top. The absolute drama of a slow, sad song is a veritable buffet for prospective actors. And TikTok is solidifying itself as a king-making promotional tool and a rung on the ladder to music superstardom. The songs that best lend themselves to memeing are becoming the best songs that rise the highest on the charts. And I know for some people that are very critical, they don't like that. But, it is where you have to understand that this is on the basis of younger people that are on TikTok that are identifying which songs they like, what their taste in music is. They're not going to radio to go and tell you about it. You can find out someone on streaming, but if you really want to know what songs are on people's minds, well, partly, yes, TikTok is helping to go ahead and put songs up there that are being released, so they are kind of influencing and persuading the audience to go ahead and make videos out of this. But again, for enough of them to go ahead and do that, it's because the song has to have a little something to get to it. And all we ever need is a hook. I mean, sometimes that's all it is. It's just getting a hook and knowing what the song is, and that's what happens. So we know about Megan Thee Stallion Savage last year, got to the top of the charts thanks to TikTok. Right now, 22-year-old Dallas rapper Erica Banks' twerk jam Bust It is currently getting a jolt. And I forget how high I got on the charts right now, but it's also Hot 100, and it's also doing really well right now, and it is playing on radio. So take that. And then you got Streets now, which is from Doja Cat's Hot Pink album, being boosted by the Silhouette Challenge. And there's so much more. Oh, and the Silhouette Challenge is involving, if you didn't know, a little trivia, the Streets song comes in after the lead up to the Paul Anka 1958 standard by American icon. Well, he's a Canadian American icon. There you go. Paul Anka, the song "Put Your Head on My Shoulder." If you didn't know the rest of the song, it goes, take me in your arms, baby. Anyway, sorry, I'm just having fun. So that's where the song came from. And it's really fun where you're kind of getting some of these, again, it's sampling. It's sampling in the form of what hip-hop records had given us for so long. Same thing with dance music. We're already consumed with sampling. This is the same thing for TikTok right now. Just so you know. The power to leverage TikToks to an artist's gain is double-edged, because we know about 18-year-old New Zealand's Joust at 685 discovering when Jason Derulo dropped a snippet of Savage Love using his Laxed Siren beat, which, remember, we heard that initially, where we heard Laxed and Siren beat as a standalone, where everybody was dancing, where girls were dancing to it. Then Jason Derulo says, you know, I'm going to put a verse in it. And there you go. The song hit number 1. Just like that. Number 1 worldwide. Thanks to TikTok. And that's what they do. So, moving along to this here, what do we learn from the histrionics that make a song fertile for 100,000 parody videos and propel up the charts? To be fair, TikTok is democratizing music videos in the same way blogs and YouTube shifted the field of cultural criticism. This is the Vulture article here, trying to get their little, put their hat on right and be very analytical here. Okay. Stealing a measure of control from the suits who run the industry and upending the business in a way it perhaps deserves. Now, one thing we also want to make mention of is that Universal Music Group cut a deal to make its full catalog available for use on TikTok and to compensate artists and songwriters when they make use of it. Royalties. Bam. Check that out. That's a huge thing. And that was one thing I was going to bring up as part of this particular episode is, again, Variety.com talking about the expanded global alliance. So let's go and bring that up real quick while I go ahead and bring this up here for you. And I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Then you also have the same thing with Mood, 24K Golden. His song about running while your girlfriend is mad ran the Hot 100 before driver's license. And the dance just took off. And again, this is another thing where when, music has kind of been a little bit rushed out and having new songs coming on the charts, and for some songs staying on the charts for a very significant long period of time, then it's going to be very easy for songs on TikTok to automatically just go ahead and shoot up the charts, because there's not that many of the established artists that are putting out new albums right now for whatever reason. Part of it is because they can't go on tour with it, so that's what they're going to do. So what are they going to do instead? And they don't want to just keep putting out albums when they can't just completely promote it. So the record labels probably are getting some of these established artists and not do that. Now, some are just not caring. Ariana Grande, obviously, she don't worry about going out on tour right now. Probably does, but the fact is, it's not stopping her from putting new records out, right? And if it's like a Dua Lipa, she goes a different route where she's putting out double nostalgia. She's putting out another version of the album as well. Just finding ways to continue to get things going up and moving forward as the pandemic continues, because it's affecting the live events. So if they can use streaming, if you can use TikTok, if TikTok becomes a thing where Universal Music and all the record labels underneath it can do something about this, that would be a very important thing for them. So here's what they're saying now. Now, Triller, and here's the other thing that's very interesting, is that Triller, which is the kind of the little step brother of TikTok, it's the one that's also a competing platform against TikTok. Well, Universal Music Group, they got war on each other, where there was an issue where they had come of odds because of people using music that was from Universal Music and using in Triller videos. Well, TikTok got a global agreement from Universal Music Group delivering equitable compensation for recording artists and songwriters and significantly expanding and enhancing the company's existing new relationship. There you go. So again, the TikTok users can now use clips from all Universal Music Group's full catalog of music, spanning the company's iconic labels, songwriters, and global territories. This is a major thing for them. It's one of the largest music publishers around that's going to be able to do this. And just so you know, Universal Music Group, among the record labels they have, okay, that is a lot. The largest business group and family of record labels in the world. Okay, here are just some of the subsidiaries of the record labels that they own: Island Def Jam, Interscope, Geffen, A&M Records, Motown, Capitol Records, Virgin Records, Machete Music, Decca Records, Universal Music itself, Verve Records, and Universal Music Group Nashville. It's huge. And I don't even want to give you how many different artists are part of this, but there's so many. It's too many to mention here, but you can imagine how much music you can go through right now as such. It's crazy of the past libraries they have and the current library of music that they have as well. It's a huge thing. So to wrap things up, Everybody's looking to try to angle for views as to how to get their songs on TikTok and make it happen. The user who initiated the driver's license trend legitimately loves the song. In many respects, this new way of engaging with music carries the characteristics of the old. There's always money in dumbing down art, and conformity continues to run culture as much as a genuine innovation. Has the internet changed us, or has it only accelerated us on paths we've been all on all along? God, I cannot say that right. So there we go. Now, songs like Driver's License out of nowhere, a ballad basically, just, this breakup song just out of nowhere comes in. So there's just a fascination by this song. It's a true test of crossover, because this song could have just been, gone by the wayside and could have been, under the radar for all this. But again, TikTok puts songs on the radar, and that's how you got to put it. That's how you got to look at it. And there's no other kind of way I can say under the radar. You'll just have to Google that too, I guess. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll talk to you next time.